Hey y'all, Xeno back here for a new series, one that isn't being uploaded 2 years after its prime. Thanks to everybody that watched the Mega Man Revolution series, though I do want to just give a quick thank you because that series ended up being much more popular than I expected. Um, Anyways, to cut to the chase of what we're doing now, so recently I've been on a kind of, I guess, binge of the X series. Up until this point, I've never played the X games until I decided to get the Legacy collections off my Steam shelf. I've had them for a couple years now, I'm pretty sure, but just never really bothered to get into them. And these games actually really blew me away. I wasn't really sure what to expect going in. I was kind of expecting it to deviate too much from the classics to be my thing, but nah, this series is really just an enhancement of almost every kind. The first four games were really incredible, and then there's a bit of a drop off. I'm still playing XA right now, but these first four are really golden titles. And I don't know if this is a controversial take, but Mega Man X2 ended up being far and away my favorite. I commonly hear the first one praised as being the cream of the crop, and then the other ones for some reason or another don't really match up, but in my opinion this game reigns supreme. And it might just be personal preference on a couple things, but honestly I think the best way for me to get talking about it is to start playing. So let's get started. I'll give my typical jibber jabber about stuff to go through. So in typical fashion for me, not picking the first game of this series to start on, and that leaving a kind of weird taste as far as continuity goes. So, in Mega Man X1, anybody that's played the X games knows about X, Zero, Sigma. So the story here is that we're picking up after the events of the first game, and Zero has been blown to shreds, and X is fighting the remains of Sigma's rebellion. But this intro stage just does such a wonderful job making you feel like a complete badass. That's something I heard other people say when considering this first stage, and I completely agree. Just crashing the bike into the first enemy is just legendary behavior. And let's say the music too. This music just gets you pumped. I guess I should go over some X gameplay just for formality's sake, but X can do everything classic Mega Man can do, but he can also dash, which is mapped to the, well, I'm using a Logitech controller, but it's mapped to the rightmost face button, which is decently comfortable. You can also double tap direction to dash, which is pretty nice. Sometimes I make use of that. That's about it, though, and X can wall jump, which classic Mega Man could never do. But you'd be saved from a lot of spikes if you could do that. But this intro stage, just you got enemies. There was this like assembly line for these helicopter bots. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. You can shoot just like, oh yeah. X can charge by default. He's always been able to do this. That's great. And there's really not much else to introduce that isn't already a feature in classic Mega Man besides these two things. If you hold the dash button while you wall jump, you can do this though, which is pretty cool. Let's just proceed. I bet the people that have played this game before are probably getting really bored just watching me yammer on about this stuff. But I think this intro stage makes a really good first impression, to be honest. Just this like factory scene music, the trying to find these remaining kind of mavericks that are aligned with Sigma. It all just, it's just the start of such a wonderful story. So I guess we'll just proceed. We got our intro stage boss, which is this big robot. Pretty cool. Not too difficult to take down. Pretty straightforward. Charge shots is all it takes. There you go. The strategy you just saw me do is what I recommend if you're going for the achievement in the Legacy Collection that says you end the stage with full health. Pretty easy. You just dash away, dash back, use a charge shot. Charge shots do like a quarter of its health. got some, excuse me, got some story here. These characters. So yeah, X the Maverick Hunter. This cutscene introduces us to Violent, Surges, and Agile, who will be principal villains for the rest of the game. I really like these guys. They're kind of like cool and mysterious, and then they show up later in the stages, and I just really like the setup of this. It's just kind of so ominous and mysterious. This location they're standing on in 2 is also like a real place in this game's universe, which is a detail I feel goes kind of underappreciated, rather than the villains just standing in some whatever place. So, in typical Mega Man fashion, you get to choose from 8 stages. The X series has these Mavericks based on animals, so it's all well and accounted for here, minus maybe some translation issues on Wire Sponge, who's more of a vegetable than anything else. I really like the Mavericks in this game, just each of them feels so distinct. It's another thing I really like. I recommend going for Wire Sponge first. That's for a couple different reasons, but in Mega Man X games, there's a lot of upgrades that require different weapons from different stages. Starting with Wire Sponge, you're able to take advantage of one of X2's most unique quirks, which is that you can actually play this game without backtracking to a single stage, which is something that you can't say about any other Mega Man X game, and is actually one of my principal reasons for loving this game so much. Because you don't need to go back to any stage if you do it right. Not that going back is bad, because this game's stages are wonderfully designed. So it would be a joy to replay any of these, to be honest. But let's just get into it with Wire Sponge. This boss stage select music is also really good. Just everything about this, it oozes charm. I have so many talking points that are kind of different to what I hear people say about this game most often. And one I want to get out of my head right off the bat is the music. I love the music of this game. I think this is the best SNES X soundtrack for sure. I prefer this to X1. I know X1 has different instrumentation that people like, but the tunes in this game are just so much more unique and varied, and I could listen to Magnus Centipede or Flamestag all day. It's crazy. Wire Sponge's theme it feels like a piece of prog rock almost. It's very unique too. I heard this song is based on the music style of a band called Weather Report, which is fitting because this is Weather Control Center. Anyways, you might have seen me go up to this corner and pick something up. In this game, and all X games, X's health starts pretty meager, as you can see on the left here. You can collect heart tanks to expand his health by 2 units every time. In the SNES games, it's 2 units per heart, 8 hearts, 1 in each stage. So this one is hidden right at the start, which I will admit this is a dumb secret. I wouldn't probably have found this without a guide. There's an upgrade in Crystal Snail stage that will maybe possibly help you find this if you think to use it. It scans for secrets, but it's not really that effective at it. I'll get into that a bit more later. But for now, all you gotta know is heart tanks expand your health, 1 in each stage, and most require a bit more finesse than this one to find. This one's pretty much a free grab. It just complements the feeling that Wire Sponge's stage has, which is X2's designated first stage. This stage has major you should go here first vibes, and it's pretty good for that. It allows you to get upgrades without backtracking, so I recommend doing so. We're gonna start getting into the part of the video soon where I try not to play complete dog shit while trying to give commentary at the same time, but come up here with this tree trunk and pipe structures if you want to find the other secret of the stage, which is what the X series calls a sub-tank. So classic Mega Man has energy tanks, but X has these refillable sub-tanks. You have to fill them yourself, which can be a plus and a minus, but basically, if you collect health while at full health, you can fill up your tank and then use it later, just like an energy tank. This elevator section is just kind of here. One thing that's a byproduct of this platform being a sprite, like 99% sure about this, is that the enemies don't consider it to be solid terrain. They just fall right through it, as you can see, which, if you're somebody that isn't familiar with like design quirks in old games like this, it might catch you off guard. You might think like, yeah, they should surely land on the platform, but no, they just don't. How do I bring up the X Hunters? So down this elevator shaft, closer to where I started, if you go down, there's an alternate boss door that can be activated if the X Hunters pop in the stage. It's not something that's activated for the first two stages that you'll visit in this game, but there's a cutscene for it, so I guess I'll just talk about it then. But basically, there's hidden routes in every stage to some extent or another that will allow you to fulfill that little side quest, which will bring back our good friend Zero. I love the weather effects in this stage too. Just like it's really fun to just speed through. Like the stage is pretty quick, short and sweet, but it's a very rompy, nice stage to start off on. These scorpion enemies I've always found to be really annoying, but not too hard to take out. There we go. Got some sub-tank energy too. You can see it slowly fills up when you collect energy at full health, which is pretty much what I was saying. The boss designs in this game are really good too. That's another aspect I feel gets so unappreciated about X2 is that the bosses are all... I think you could reasonably take on any of these guys as your first pick. Some are more or less painful, but I don't think there's any boss that is off limits. Like, I don't know who to compare it to, but like a launch octopus from X1, maybe. That would be a decent comparison. He's just really aggravating to deal with. Even like Armored Armadillo, you probably wouldn't want to tackle as your first boss. But here, like, I could see a player picking any of these and not having too tough of a time with them. You have to learn the patterns for sure, and I'm getting my ass whipped right now because I'm trying to talk at the same time. But Wire Sponge kind of just does this, goes to the ceiling, shoots seeds. At low health, he'll do this little lightning attack. In X2, you can just stand far away from it, and it won't really like target you. That's something that's not the case in Mega Man Extreme, which remakes some of the stages from this game, which I always found strange. But that's Sponge. Good boss. Very, very well telegraphed. Like, he'll be spinning his wires for ages, so you can't possibly make up the excuse that you didn't see anything coming. It's a really good boss to start on. If you're playing this for the first time, well, I would hope you're not necessarily watching this and getting spoilers, but... Oh, crap, I skipped the cutscene. That's my bad. The weapon get cutscene is cool. I guess I'll get to show it off, but... I guess it's my job to do the explaining since I messed that up. Wire Sponge's weapon is Strike Chain. It's, kind of like a melee weapon. It'll shoot out a chain, just like you saw in his boss fight, that attaches to walls. It can actually pull you towards things, and that property is what makes it really viable for no backtrack runs, as the next stage we're about to enter is Wheel Gator, where we'll be seeing Strike Chain get some use promptly. It's an okay weapon. One point of this game that is a bit on the weaker end is the weapon design. X1 definitely had a stronger loadout. I would argue even X3 has probably stronger weapons. These are more like situational and kind of unique. Some of them are really niche, but I still would argue you get use out of most of these weapons somewhere if you use your head. So that's always been my take on it, but I know people are not too fond of the weapons of this game. I definitely prefer some over others, but some of the like charge functions are just so cool. Though Wheel Gator's stage does give me a chance to talk about another thing that can be a little bit grating, and some people also get on X2's case about. The instrumentation for this track, in particular, is kind of rough. This, like, whiny guitar and, like, strange, like, distorted sounding, almost like sitar type sound, kind kind of make this song a little unpleasant to listen to, at least for like long periods of time. It's such a short loop too. I can't really say this is one of my favorite tunes. Probably one of X2's weakest tracks, if I'm being honest. But this stage is really cool though. Like a moving tank destroying a city, like that's a cool set piece. A really cool set piece. Just another thing I think deserves to be appreciated. So here's what Strike Chain allows us to do, and this is like the crux of the no backtracking thing for X2. This armor capsule was most likely designed for you to use the air dash, which you get from Overdrive Ostrich's stage, but to get it, you need Wheel Gator's weapon, the spin wheel. So what you can do to avoid this backtrack is by using the Strike Chain and dash jumping off this wall and attaching to the wall. Once I stop talking, I'll try and execute it, but it can be... Oh, I almost got it first try. I was struggling to do this earlier. I was just testing it out to see how good I am at performing it. You need to be like right about here. This might take me a while, but I have to make the decision to shut my mouth and like focus on trying to do this correctly, or give commentary at the same time so people won't get bored. Getting pretty close every time, but the timing of this is pretty strict. Almost. Strike Chain is also the weakness of Wheel Gator, so this little maneuver actually kind of helps out in some degree as far as going in the weakness order. If I run out of energy here, I swear I'm going to be really mad at myself. Come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. So, let's get to talking about the armor capsules. So, in every X game, there are 4 armor capsules spread about map for X to collect, which form his armor pieces: helmet, body, legs, and arms. Some games have more than one set, but this is the basic formula, is that there are 4 different pieces for every given armor. We have the second armor in this game, which, I mean, it's just the second Mega Man X's armor. But the arm parts here are really cool. One of the most lauded arm parts in the X series, because it allows you to do 2 charge shots in a row. It even gives you a demo of it. I'm not controlling anything here. It's just going to show it off. Yeah. And this double charge shot that you get by charging up to the pink level, it ignores boss iframes. So you can use this to make some boss fights go by much, much faster. It also allows you to charge your special weapons. So if we charge Strike Chain, you get a big chain. Very cool. This armor system is one of the biggest reasons for why Mega Man X has this really strong sense of progression. You're constantly getting better equipment and just powering yourself up, and it's just the best feeling in the world. Definitely one of the biggest reasons why, like, this series didn't take too long to resonate really well with me. And I guess I'm gonna have to, yeah. The dash button mapping can be kind of awkward for situations like that, where you want to hold your charge but also jump off the wall. There's often a trade-off you have to make, having to let go of your charge shot, because I don't think there's a way you can double tap off the wall. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. Here's a ride armor, which is another Mega Man X staple. These are like just big mechs that punch and destroy shit. Really feels great to use. Oh wait, look, I took so long that it turned nighttime in this stage. Yeah, it was daytime, but because I took like 10 billion years to get that item with Strike Chain, it's nighttime now. This game has so many just like little amazing details like that. I know I didn't get to show up like the day variant to prove it, but I hope you'll take that at face value, 'cause, yeah. But just like punching stuff with this ride armor is so great. Like, this is just a blast. Oh, wait, what the heck? Okay. I don't know how this can respawn. You can jump out of these ride armors by pushing up an attack, which is nice. Yeah, sub-tank's full. Got a lot of those big health pickups. Here's another genius omission of backtracking on X2's end. Normally, you would need a flame stack speed burner to get this. You need to charge it up and then do a dash move, which is pretty much like Heat Man's dash in Mega Man 2. You can just fly forward. I think you can also... No, you can't get this with the air dash, because you probably don't have enough momentum. But anyways, we don't need to backtrack to the stage because of this little enemy being exploitable. Oh, okay, I didn't get hit. I'm surprised. If you just get right in this position and have the enemy shoot at you. There we go. Yeah, like that. There we go. I love this exploit. Like, these... They sort of feel like they were intentional by the devs, but just the fact that you can do this... Like, I feel like it has to be purposeful. Otherwise, why would they have bothered putting this enemy here? It's just... This game just feels so masterfully crafted. I hope me pointing this kind of stuff out makes people appreciate it more, but just the fact that you can have so many varied ways of collecting items that, like, it just induces a much stronger sense of player choice, which is something that I think deserves to be praised very severely, or significantly. Significant praise for this game design. There we go. These guys throwing their spinning tambourine thing is getting annoying. Oh, crud. Can't escape. There we go. Up here is another one of the X-Hunter rooms, as I was talking about earlier. I will be showing that off next video because we're gonna be doing them 2 at a time, just like my other series. But it's up there. If you need to get that secret, that's where to find it. I'm going to be just disclosing like everything. I'm not really going to hold back in terms of spoilers or secrets. So if you're hoping to experience this game completely for yourself, I wouldn't really recommend watching this series. It might take away from some of the mystique if I point all this out, but to be honest, I just like knowing stuff like this, so it wouldn't bother me. It's your choice, really. You can grind some health here, which is nice. Might need a bit more going into Wheel Gator's fight. There we go. So yeah, that was a decent stage. Oh, I forgot about this ending boss. This guy is pretty annoying. Very, pretty tough. Actually, I might make use of this health up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, come on. Alright, whatever. I think we can make it work with a small chunk of health taken off. Unfortunately, this stage just can't keep it together in some aspects. Pretty weak song, decent stage, but I also don't really like the fight against Wheel Gator, to be honest. That's primarily because he spends so much of this fight submerged in this oil. He'll come out every once in a while when the oil oscillates less. When it's like very wavy, as you're seeing now, he'll fire his spin wheels. When it gets calm like this, that's how you know he's about to jump out. And that's when you want to strike your chain. I think this is a lot more damage. This actually is a great place to... Ah, crap, I got snagged. You can, like, flail to get out of this. There we go. Yeah, the charged version does a decent amount more damage. But trying to charge it and also be on the wall shows this big flaw with this control scheme. Oh, come on. Yeah, this boss fight is a whole lot of waiting. Not something I'm a fan of. And hitting him with the damn strike chain makes him go back in the oil. So, Yeah, it's no wonder why people don't think of this fight that fondly. It just takes forever. That's one thing I noticed about the X series in general, that's different than the classic series, which is just that the boss fights take forever to die from their weaknesses, and they just have so many invulnerability frames that can get quite aggravating to have the right weapon for the boss, but they just have 3 years of invincibility to their name. It's not that bad. I mean, as you can see, like, still making decently quick work of Gator with Strike Chain. So yeah, not a great boss, but like, I wouldn't bother complaining that much about him, to be honest. Just kind of okay. We are going to hear back from the Counter Hunters, though, in a second. Or the X Hunters, I guess. I'm not really sure what the official name for them is supposed to be. This time we'll see the weapon get screen. Very nice. Gives you a quick demo of what the weapon does. Nothing wrong with this. Pretty much perfect for a weapon get screen. Yeah, here's our juicy action. Yeah, it's quite powerful. And intervene they shall. I don't have too much grounds to talk about this because I don't have a Mega Man X1 review up on the channel yet, but basically, Dr. Kane is the person that found X, so it's cool to see him get kind of involved in the story, even if it's just for exposition. And I guess the name is X Hunters. That was said in the text, so there you go, I guess. So, I guess Violent, Sturgis, and Agile want to challenge X, which is directly reflected in the gameplay. But we'll be getting a bit more into that next time. Because for now, this episode's going to have to come to a conclusion. Thank you all for watching. Hope this was entertaining to you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode of the series. Take care. Peace out. Bye-bye.